All right, all right. What's up, my gentlemen of the Jason Witten Broadcasting League? It's yours truly, your faithful co-commish, the one and only Thrills Alexander. I gotta say, is there anything prettier than watching Kyler Murray outrun a field full of professional athletes? I don't think so. I don't think so at all. But here we are once again. First time back in a few weeks. I know you guys have really missed me. But other things pop up, and sometimes you're like, I'll get to it next week. And just like every other person in this world, you never get to it. So I apologize for letting you guys down, but that's going to happen when Thrills is your commission from time to time. Just be prepared for letdown. Just ask my wives. Going forward, let's talk a little bit about the last couple of weeks. We'll start off with some weekly challenges. I want to throw some congrats out there. Big Ant picked up $10 in round number 1 with the highest scoring kick with Will Lutz. Billy Foosball picked up $10 last week by having the highest defensive player, Mr. Darius Leonard. And your money is in. I just sent a check. I sent a check up there. Just be on the lookout for it. Look at Kyler Murray again. God, that man is amazing. And then week 10, this upcoming week, everybody needs to be making sure they have their highest scoring touchdown producers in your running back position. So this week only, I want to make sure Kyler Murray is listed as a running back so I have a chance. Other than that, I'm just giving away those $10. I'm not even a challenge with my shitbag running backs. All right, so enough about the past couple weeks. We've seen some ups. The past couple week challenges at least. Let's go ahead and talk about some of the things we've seen the past couple weeks. And man, we've seen some things that are tough, some things that make your eyes hurt, some things that make you go, oh, damn, I'm glad I wasn't playing him this week. And a whole lot of things that are in between. So let's get started. First off, let's talk about last week only. Neil Everett, man, you talk about a close loss, brother. Like, that was a close loss. If your defense just didn't even play last week, if you had nobody there, you beat JR. And I would have appreciated if you beat JR, being in that Tony Romo elitist division that he is. But I'm proud of you right there. But looking at D-Harb's team, I mean, he looks like it could score 80 points like he's done a couple times, or he could score 180 points like he's done once or twice, I believe. So Neil Everett, you're a team right there. Picked up a couple losses these couple weeks, and I gotta say, I don't know if I see your fortunes turn around. Nick Chubb coming back, going to devalue Kareem Hunt a little bit. I've seen some injuries crop up there for you recently, so you really want to be careful there. And when Justin Jefferson has Kirk Cousins throwing him the ball, you always got to be worried about that. All right, so Neil Everett, just be on the lookout right there. Ooh, Christian Kirk. I know John Madden is liking to see that 13 jersey right there. And let's talk about a team that has nobody up here scoring points. I'm talking about BC Brian Collins, the man who was once head, shoulders, and dick above everybody else in this league. That is no more the case. Brian Collins is just a regular piece of shiz like the rest of us, sitting at 4-5, loser of 5 straight games. If his team is not a mere symbolization of the NFL at its crux, there is no quarterback, there is no team. And right now, Brian Collins, you have no daggum quarterback. And I don't know if you're ever going to be able to solve that conundrum with the who's crap on the waiver wire. You like to go with Jared Goff this week in Seattle. At least that makes sense going against the Seahawks, no defense anymore. Legion of nothing. But, looking at Tyler Lockett up and down, Travis Fulgham. And Carson Wentz loves him, so I'll give you some props there. David Johnson still plays for Houston, and it's still not in the time machine to 2016, so don't worry there. Fake tight end and Logan Thomas and Ayuk, he's got potential. So just leaving it right there. But big old Benny boy right now, I got to say, from where you were to where you are now, makes me giggle a little bit, but just lets me know that anything can happen in fantasy foosball. Just like we've seen with Craig Kilborn these past weeks. 3 weeks ago, Craig Kilborn said, man, my team, I should be 12th in the power rankings. Oh, shucks, oh, man, feel sorry for me and my shitbag team. I didn't feel sorry for him then, and I don't feel sorry for Mr. Craig Kilborn now. Dalvin friggin' Cook. Do I need to say any more? Oh, wait. Oh, I do? Okay. Well, going on, what about Nook? What about Devontae Adams? The man has 3 flat-out studs, top of their position players, and it's amazing right now, I gotta say. Watching those boys cook the past couple weeks, combined 409 points in the past 2 weeks. 409. Some teams it's going to take them more than 3 weeks to score that. It's going to be 3 full weeks and then the 1 o'clock games to get there. Craig Kilborn is just doing things. Dalvin Cook has put up back-to-back 62-point games. Take away those 62 points, he still scored 160 points. Minus Dalvin Cook. That is a winner every week. Well, 7 out of 10 weeks. And last week, it would have been a winner against his opponent. So I got to say, Craig Kilborn, you wanted to be towards the bottom of the power rankings. You weren't ever put there, and I don't foresee you ever going there, Craigie K. All right, and then another good win this week. Somebody that needed that win, John Madden. Nobody has needed a win more than John Madden here recently. I mean, I look at a team that started 4-0, running this league, just flat out running it, and then recently he's kind of fallen a little more flat, losing 3 in a row up until that victory over Pepper Brooks, which everybody's beating Pepper Brooks right now. Oh man, the highlights cut out. That's a bummer. Let's kick it back up with something else. Oh, it's because it tried to show Bears highlights. That's why it's a black screen. Sorry about that. Can't fix Bears. But we can fix John Madden. And he has found a way to fix himself. John Madden, I got to say, you got the best fantasy wide receiver in DK Metcalf. You got a top 3 quarterback in Josh Allen. And you got some dude named Christian Kirk who's just a young stud on the up and up. And I love to see Christian Kirk. Owned him last year. Thought he was going to be able to do something. Needless to say, he was not. It was quite disheartening. But your team, other than that, if Chris Carson gets healthy, if Ezekiel Elliott gets healthy or gets in shape or gets something going for him, you might see some more points coming over there. And we might really have a toe-to-toe battle between Craigie K and John Madden here, because they look like there's some pretty quality teams right now. As Dennis Miller looks in the distance and says, I'm first place. Yes, I know, Dennis, I know. But that's not here, not there. And I will say, you are first place in your division, but you've got not the best division. I want to take a few minutes here to talk about the best division through 9 weeks, and that's the Tony Damn Romo division. Just like Tony Romo's the best sports announcer on TV right now, that division is running the show. Boomer Esiason, 2nd overall team, 6-3. Stuart Scott, number 5 at 5-4. SVP, 6 at 5-4. JR at 7th and 5-4. Every team in that division over 500. Not one other team can say that. Now, Billy Foosball might be able to say, well, I'm the number 1 team. This division is the best. Well, you got that Flash stank going on over there in that division, because Flash's team is flat out trash this year. Flat out trash. I've never seen a Flash team this bad in my life. I really enjoy that. Sorry, Flash. And then you got the Pat Summerall division, 5-4, 5-4, 4-5. Everybody right around 500. And then you got dead-ass last B Green at 1-8, who couldn't buy a victory if it was a cheap whore walking down Fulton Industrial. All right, so I got to say, that Tony Romo division so far looks pretty damn good. And, hey, we might be able to squeeze, well, with Craig K up there at 1,411 points. It's going to be tough to squeeze all 4 of us in the playoffs, but crazier things have happened. All right, and going forward again, with this conversation came up today in the Slack chat, what to do in case of COVID. And I've got a few different thoughts going on right now. Brian Hall helped out a little bit. B Green helped out a little bit. But we're not going to do anything crazy yet. We're going to keep running this season out. All right, we're going to play week after week because everybody can still field a competent team. There's plenty of IR positions right now. And if need be, that might be option number 1. Open more IR positions. Option number 2, do nothing at all and ride this bitch out. Option number 3, stop the season after next week, call it top 6, run that damn thing. Or we could stop after week 11, after everybody's played everybody else, take those top 6 teams, throw them in the playoffs, and get this bitch started. All right, so those are some of the thoughts that are going through my mind. Obviously, hashtag BJG will be out later tonight to kind of give some thoughts and what he thinks we should do. And hopefully, the answer is nothing, because we're going to get this resolved. And if it goes anything like baseball, you'll freak out at the beginning. They finished 66 with no problem, or 60 games in 66 days with no problem. And that's what I see happening here in the Jason Witten Broadcasting League. We ain't no quitters. We're going to make it through. All right, and I'm going to make it right through the end of this video to the power rankings. All right, we're 10 minutes in. We got 2 minutes left to Tua versus Kyler action. I hope to see this matchup for the next 10 to 15 years. It was grade A quality foosball on Sunday. I was watching high school football on Friday. Douglas County Tigers, what? DCHS, gotta dig it. All right, so let's jump into the power rankings, starting with a non-DCHS graduate, Mr. Andrew Hamlin, also known as Flash, also known as Pepper Brooks. Flash, man, I already said your team is the worst team I have seen from you ever. You get Christian McCaffrey back for 1 week and he immediately gets hurt again. Juju finally does something. He's on the bench. You just pretty much got to make it through the season. You're going through the motions. At least you're going to put a team in there every week that's playing. But I definitely know you're not going to be putting forth maximum effort knowing that your team has zero chance of doing anything positive. Number 11. This is where a resident dweller should be. Mr. 1-8, Chris Collinsworth, a.k.a. Co-Commish, a.k.a. hashtag BJG. Chris, your team's gotten some improvement recently, but I got to keep you down here because I feel like on the Slack board recently, you referenced yourself as C-H-R-I-S instead of just C-R-I-S, Collinsworth, and that kind of aggravated me a little bit. You didn't even know how to spell your own name. All right, almost aggravated me as much when I went to the Tampa Bay lighting store and I couldn't find any good lights. All right, number 10. Number 10 in our power rankings, Big Ant, big number 10, big disappointment so far. Wow, Anthony, wow. You got Alvin Kamara, Stephon Diggs, shit else. You're in 10th, you're probably going to stay there. Number 9, we're rocking with a little Neil Everett, the team that 2 weeks ago, second place overall because he was somehow 5-2 in his division. Neil, I got to put you back down to number 9. Not only have you scored the third least amount of points, the second fewest points in the league this year, I just don't have any faith in you, brother. Love you to death, don't have any faith in you. You've also had no points scored against you. 12-23. Second fewest scored, second most against. You're still 5-4. You should be 7-2, right up there with Billy. Number 8. Apparently I can't read. Anthony, I apologize. You're not number 10. Motherfucking Brian Collins is number 10, right where his ass deserves to be. BC, I apologize. Your team pretty much has Tyler Lockett and let me look up here at Brian Collins' team real quick. Bear with me. Pretend we're on the radio here and I'm Mike Bell. But I got to say, Brian Collins' team, Nick Chubb, we already went through it. Tyler Lockett might get 60, might get 6. You deserve to be in 10th right now, Ben. Number 8 is Marv Albert. Marv, just like I said, Ant, you got Kamara, you got Diggs, you got shit else. Devin Singletary ain't about a shit thing. I can't even think your quarterback must not be worth a pit and diddly. Tom Brady, that sounds about right. Total bastard, can't do anything. And Philip Lindsay, stay away from Denver. Just stay away. Number 7, big old Stu Scott. Marcus, you have fought and played really well in this league this year. And your losses, man, have been when your team just straight up dropped some points on you. So just for reference sake, you lost when somebody scored 205 against you, 195 against you, 222 against you, and then 140 in the opening week. So the only way you're beating Marcus is if you're dropping 195 or more. Just let that sink in. Number 6, yours truly, SVP, rocking in at number 6. Not too high, not too low. This squad is really middle of the road. They could score a lot of points with Kyler Murray, or they could stay right where they're at and fall flat on their face if he doesn't run for 100 yards and at least run for a touchdown or 2. Number 5, good old JR. Oh, we'd love to see JR here. Justin Grant doing things in this league. I'm really glad to see. I like to see just looking at his team, he's finally getting everybody healthy. And when I like to see that, it's because we've already played each other, and I don't really care that he's getting everybody healthy now. But, I mean, Michael Thomas is finally back. Aaron Jones is finally back. Chris Godwin's looking healthy. If Elaire would ever do something, then your team would be damn good. Damn good, my friend. Number 4, John Madden. Hey there, Big John. As we talked about earlier, when your team is rocking on all cylinders with Josh Allen and crew, it is really good. Chris Carson needs to get healthy, and your team is a shoo-in to be in the top 3. Speaking of number 3, Boomer Esiason. That's where we'll find you. Leader of the best division in this entire fantasy football reality world that we live in. But Boomer Esiason, man, your team is looking tight right now. You haven't even had Miles Sanders the past couple weeks, and you're still dropping points on people. And I know Ben appreciated his birthday gift you gave him. That a boy. Number 2, the team that should have been all the way at the bottom per their bullshit. Craig Kilborn, you're at number 2 right where you belong. Your team is as good as I thought it was at the beginning of the year. It's finally playing to that potential. Outside of those top 3, though, you better hope Josh Jacobs remembers how to play football. You better hope your tight end situation gets figured out, because after those first couple studs, there is some mediocrity right there. I'm not going to lie. There is some mediocrity. And the number one, still number one, Billy Baseball. When you can have injuries galore to your team and still have the likes of Tyreek Hill and James Robinson and Evan Ingram to just lean back on, you just sit back and say, that's some savvy drafting right there. Some savvy drafting. Fucker. All right, so that's it for this week. We will see you next week in the, well, it was called the Tuesday Afternooner, but much like a man might say to an over needy girlfriend, I don't like to put labels on things, baby. Let's just enjoy our time. So until next time, I'll see you later.